Yo, what up, peeps? In the woods again, as if you couldn't tell that. Did you see the news today that inflation has risen? For September, the inflation rate rose 3% over the same time last year. And, you know, the news reported it as the inflation rate rose, but it didn't rise as much as economists had expected. Have you ever noticed that these economists never get it right? You know, it's always, oh, it was lower than expected or higher than expected, which allows politicians to react not to the raw numbers, but to whether or not the numbers matched economists, these nameless economists' expectations. So even though inflation is up, the MAGA cult is out there today celebrating because it's apparently didn't rise as much as economists had anticipated. So that's somehow a big win. These fucking people. Look, if they want to keep lying to themselves, that's okay. I mean, the American people don't follow this shit. So they don't care about these stupid arguments. What they care about is what things actually cost when they go to the grocery store. Not whether or not the inflation rate rose as much as economists expected. And the fact that it rose at all is the exact opposite of what this Orange Buffoon promised during the campaign. He didn't promise that he was going to increase the inflation rate less than economists expect. He promised that he would kill inflation. He would lower prices. Because what is inflation? Inflation is the increase in prices. So if you have any inflation, it means things are getting more expensive. So he promised to have negative inflation, that prices would start to go down on day one, remember? Remember he had a ridiculous event? I want to say he had it at one of his friggin' golf clubs. Set up a little podium for him and had a couple of folding tables behind him with boxes of cereal and peanut butter and whatever fucking random groceries that some staffer went and picked up at the store. Coffee cans. And this orange painted buffoon was up there talking about groceries. Groceries. Remember, it's a new word I just discovered. Groceries. And he was vowing, you elect me and I will bring down the price of groceries on day one. Well, pretty sure we're quite a bit past day one. Last I checked the calendar, believe it's October 23rd or 24th. Honestly, I don't fucking know. It's one of those two. He's been in office for quite a while. And prices have not come down. Prices continue to rise. 3%. Nothing has come down. His own people are beginning to realize it. And I'm seeing, by the way, more and more MAGA influencers, or maybe former MAGA, I don't know. But a lot of these people, these Trump supporters, they're having a hard time defending him. I saw a couple of posts in the last day or two from Tomi Lahren. She's one of these blonde Fox News bimbos. I don't know if she's still on Fox or what, but she apparently has a podcast. And I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. Anyway, I saw a video of this Tomi Lahren and her podcast railing against Trump's betrayal of American farmers, specifically here about the, these cattle ranchers are pissed because Trump is going to be importing beef from Argentina. This comes on the heels of him giving them $40 billion of taxpayer money to Argentina, which really friggin' cracks me up because, we're now importing beef from Argentina, undercutting American beef producers, which is pissing them off. And of course, overwhelmingly, voted for Trump. But on top of that, you got to consider the fact that Trump's imposition of tariffs, specifically on China, resulted in China saying, you know what? We're not going to buy fucking soybeans from you people anymore. We've had it with this bullshit. You pulled this on us the first term, and that's it. We've had it. So we're not buying soybeans from you anymore. And so we're going to look to South America. So they started they canceled all their American soybean contracts, screwing over the farmers who voted for Trump. And they started buying soybeans from Brazil and Argentina. So Trump screws over the farmers with the tariffs. They lose their soybean business. Then Trump sends Chinese soybean business to Argentina. Then Trump gives Argentina $40 billion of bailout money. And now he's importing Argentina. Let me try this again. Now he's importing beef from Argentina, fucking over the cattle ranchers. You just hate to see these MAGAs get screwed by the guy they voted for. Such a shame. Such a shame. And by the way, this Tommy Lahren, and drop a comment if you know, because I don't follow Tommy Lahren. So has she jumped off the Trump train? And is she still with Fox? I don't know. But she's not the only one I've seen. I've seen a lot of MAGAs really pissed about him screwing over the farmers and the cattle ranchers. But of course, they haven't brought themselves to actually blame Trump directly. And every time, going uphill now, every time I see one of these people on social media complaining, and they're really mad about the bailout of Argentina, sending them money, because, that's not exactly America first, right? They're mad about the bailout money. They're mad about importing beef from Argentina, all that. And every time I see one of these MAGA types railing against that, I always send him a message. I'm like, his name is Donald Trump. Come on, you can say it, because they're just angry as can be. They're railing against what he's doing, but they don't dare criticize him directly. It's so pathetic, because they know, that's the thing, these media types, these influencers who make money, on their podcasts and their blogs and all this shit, if they piss off their audience by directly attacking Trump, the audience will abandon them. And there goes their money. So they just can't bring themselves to do it. And I think if they all had the guts and just abandon him all at once, I think there's a lot of people out there. You would never know it by what they say. But I think there's a lot of them. Not just media personalities and influencers, but elected Republicans in Congress, who just sit there and take all this shit like a bunch of cucks. They would love to abandon him. They just can't. They all just got together and said, look, we're going to abandon him all at once. There's safety in numbers. They'll probably never get there, but anyway. And another thing they do, because they can't criticize Trump directly. They've been doing this for years. What they'll do is they'll say, this is awful. Who's advising him? He's getting bad advice. That's their excuse. It's never Trump's fault. If he does something horrible or stupid, if he betrays his voters in some way, it's never his fault. He's getting bad advice. They've been doing this with this excuse literally for years. It's fucking pathetic. And which is it? You know, on the one hand, they tell us that, you know, he plays 4D chess. He's smarter than everybody else. You know, just listen to him. He knows more about every issue than anyone else on the planet. He's a genius. So on the one hand, he's a 4D chess playing genius. On the other hand, he's so fucking stupid that he's led around by the nose by faceless, nameless advisors somewhere in the dark corners who are advising him. Never his fault. So which is it? Is he a genius, or is he a moron who's being played like a, you know, who's being manipulated like a puppet by these unknown advisors? Thing is, they all know the truth about him. They know he's an idiot. Maybe not the rank and file cult members. Maybe not your average Fox News viewer. I mean, these people really have drunk the Kool-Aid. But a lot of these, I mean, most of the politicians know he's an idiot. A lot of these media types and influencers, they do too. They just can't get crosswise with the cult. They just can't, because their livelihood is tied to them. They lose the support of the cult by directly attacking their cult leader, and they're shit out of luck. They're not going to be making any money, and they're just fucked. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.